Love being down here today, and we await any news regarding the trade deadline. Hey, at least the Tigers are playing better to shift the focus from this team is totally collapsing, what's the point, to, okay, back in it, let's talk trade, right?
Yes.
And much better play. I mean, it's a smaller sample size, but they're starting to look like the best version of themselves that we've seen for the last 10 months, rather than the team that has been historically bad for 2 weeks. My God, they were bad. But here we go. Trade deadline just over 24 hours away, and a cathartic stretch by the Tigers has us refocusing on buying here. And I got to tell you, we have a good old-fashioned disagreement about Stephen Kwan. I guess as we have these guardrails up, as we call them, and we're reacting to the Jeff Passan report today, the chances of the Guardians moving Kwan is higher than teams believed a week ago. There's been so much focus on Suarez. And, as I peruse all the reports around Major League Baseball, everybody wants bullpen help. Everybody that with a bullpen arm seems to be willing to sell them for a high price. There's less scuttlebutt about hitters and position players than there is about bullpen arms. And the Tigers, it's Suarez. And I don't think we need to stop talking about Eugenio Suarez, but I do wonder if it's appropriate to start talking about Stephen Kwan. Because if I'm Cleveland, I'm not moving him. I think he's 27, club control for 3 years, seems to do really good at some things and enough of the other things that he's an all-around player that would help you. But the price, I can't imagine them giving him to Detroit for something that wouldn't be painful. I'd go higher than you would. At the end of the day, we're talking about because Passan put it out there. I don't want to be unrealistic either. Like, is he really available?
I'm not sure if he really is. But the other thing is that if Parker Meadows hadn't gone on the IL, and it's for a quad strain, it's not like it's supposed to be something that's going to keep him out forever. But he is on the IL. If he weren't, I don't even think we would have brought this up, other than you and I are both fans of Stephen Kwan. But, I mean, trying to fit him on this roster, find an outfield position for him when they would have a complete outfield doesn't seem to make sense. It makes a little more sense now. But, again, I just don't see it being realistic. I think some other team that has a screaming needed outfielder would call Cleveland and make an offer that they would accept.
Well,
if they're even willing to move him, because I'm like you, I wouldn't move him. You got him on the cheap for 3 years. What are you going to be non-competitive for 3 years?
Given recent news, I wouldn't be shocked if it's changed their approach.
I mean, honestly, if you're Cleveland, if you're even considering trading Stephen Kwan, just trade Jose Ramirez then.
Maybe.
And they're not going to. So I mean, I saw the report. I'm not sure I buy it. It's interesting, and the rumblings are out there for Stephen Kwan. I just don't understand why. I mean, look, I don't know Cleveland's organization like the back of my hand here, so I don't know if they've got like 3 outfielders that they're dying to see on their own roster. And they're like, all right, let's trade this guy. We'll get, a haul of players in return for him. If they go with the Tigers, let's get Troy Melton and, Max Anderson, which might seem ridiculous. But to your point, Kwan is under team control for 3 years. It
would have to be something that's painful. And maybe this speaks to the price tag here a little bit. John Heyman, MLB insider for MLB Network, New York Post, writes the following, tweets at this hour. Dodgers are one of many teams in on Guardians all-star left fielder Stephen Kwan. Dodgers could form a nice package starting with top catching prospect Dalton Rushing, who's blocked for years by MVP candidate Will Smith. Tigers have catching prospects, but he said package. Would I give up Briseño, Lorenzo, and some to get Stephen Kwan? I would. But, again, is he really available? Because let's face it, the Tigers face different challenges than the Dodgers. If I'm Cleveland and I am willing to sell it, which is hard for me to buy into, but if I am willing to sell Stephen Kwan, I'd much rather sell him to the National League than to a team I'm going to see
100%.
multiple times a year.
Yeah. And the Dodgers, it's just disgusting here. The Dodgers in on anybody.
Yeah.
It's like, don't you already have your perfect roster? What do you need to add players to it? But from a Dodgers perspective, would they be interested in Stephen Kwan? Oh, hell yeah. You think having another Asian player helps out their market? I mean, their market's already crazy. But with the Asian market in L.A., he'd be a huge hit out there. And he's a great player.
From an unnamed texter, Doug, I actually agree with you. I'd rather have a guy that's a gold glove and hits for average than lower average, poor defense and power. Next text, love me some Kwan. Very hard out to get. Would love him in the lineup. Not a slugger, but can get on base and give opposing teams fits.
He does that.
Bill in Livonia, if the Tigers acquire Stephen Kwan, I'll buy his jersey. I love that guy, and I hate playing against him. Next text, yes on Kwan, period. He does everything. He's a tough out. He runs, pitch counts up. Add him, Suarez, and another arm or a bullpen in the bullpen, and we're headed to the American League Championship at worst. That's quite a lot to add. I'd give up Melton, Malloy, and Briseño for Kwan. Hinch loves guys like that.
That's a lot to give up.
So Malloy, if they get Kwan, I mean, Malloy, with all respect due, is phased even further out, right? Briseño feels like the piece. Melton, that is a lot to give up. But the question is, does Detroit have to offer more than others because they'll have to see Kwan a bunch? And then we also have to ask ourselves, are we cool with going against Melton and Briseño for years?
Well, you make the trade because you think you've improved your team enough to give yourself a chance to win a championship, and then whatever you gave up is whatever you gave up.
Yeah,
right?
you're basically,
you can't look back at
in the
it.
here and the now, you're giving up Melton.
Yeah.
Because Briseño and Malloy aren't currently part of this team. So you're giving up a guy who's given you one good start. And if we had mentioned Melton in a trade proposal Sunday, it wouldn't be painful at all. It might be a little bit, but
right,
it feels way more painful because of one start, which is, we do it too. You overvalue that one data point that was so attractive.
But he is listed as a top 10 prospect in the organization, and he has had a heck of a season in the minors with an under 3 ERA in a bunch of starts. And once you watch him with your own eyes, it's not the 7 shutout innings. It's how he was pitching during those 7 shutout innings, working all over. He had such command of the strike zone. And, with the heater in the high 90s, there's a lot to like. But, yes, I think he could be absolutely in play to get the player that you need, because he may not help you a ton this year based on the number of innings he's already pitched. Now, I could see him going to the bullpen at some point for the Tigers this year so that they can maximize the innings that they have.
They're in a weird spot where they need someone, it doesn't matter who, but they need someone to do what Melton did. And if you're going to tell me that Flaherty, who's had a good outing last time out, or Mize is going to be, because Mize has this weird thing where he has these starts every once in a while, like he did last night, where you look down, he's in the second inning and he's throwing 60 pitches.
Yeah,
and he did that against Kansas City a couple months ago. He did it against the White Sox earlier this year.
I think it's 11 runs given up in his last 8 2/3 innings. Mm-hmm. He's given up like 19 hits and 5 walks during that time as well. But before that, he had a shutout, like 7 shutout innings. It's strange. I hope they don't have a Mize problem. I hope that he can just get back on track. And it didn't seem like it was anything physical with him. People were asking about the knee because he had some knee issues this week. And he's like, no, I was fine. And AJ was dismissing that. So just a bad outing for Casey Mize. But now it's 3 bad outings in a row.
248-539-9797. Phone calls, feedback. What do you think? Is it realistic to get, is there accessibility, if you will, for the Tigers to Stephen Kwan? Would you do it? And it would be a hefty price, but would you do it? 248-539-9797.